The gavel cracked like a gunshot, shattering the stale air of the Cedarwood County Courthouse. But it was Noah's choked sob that echoed longest, raw and unraveling, as the prosecutor's voice slithered through the silence. "Your Honor, this boy isn't a victim. He's a predator in rainbow-colored sheep's clothing." In that frozen heartbeat, Jackson's heart slammed against his ribs from the back row, his fists clenching the worn wooden bench until splinters bit into his palms, knowing one wrong move could end everything they'd fought for. Noah Harper had always been the quiet storm in Elmwood, Ohio, a small Rust Belt town where cornfields stretched like forgotten promises and the steel mill's shadow loomed over dreams that never quite ignited. At 19, he was all sharp angles and softer secrets. Tousled black hair that fell into hazel eyes that saw too much, a lanky frame honed from late-night runs along the riverbank to outpace the ghosts of his father's Bible-thumping sermons. Growing up gay in a place where faggot was both slur and sport had taught Noah to build walls higher than the mill's smokestacks. But walls crack, and his had shattered the night of the bonfire party at Miller's Pond, 3 months back, under a July sky thick with fireflies and the acrid bite of cheap beer. It started innocent enough, or as innocent as small-town rituals get. The annual 4th of July bash, where pickup trucks formed a ragged circle around a bonfire that roared like the town's unspoken rage. Noah had slipped away from the crowd, nursing a stolen solo cup of lukewarm PBR, when Tyler Grant, captain of the high school football team turned community college dropout, cornered him by the water's edge. Tyler, with his buzz cut and beer gut already budding at 21, had always been the golden boy, the one whose daddy owned half the auto shop on Main Street. "Hey, queerbait," Tyler slurred, his buddies snickering from the shadows like hyenas. "Heard you been eye-fucking the new barista at the diner." That true. Noah's stomach twisted, but he forced a laugh, light and deflecting. "Just appreciating good coffee." Man, it was a lie. Of course, the barista was Jackson, with his easy grin and calloused hands from volunteering at the local shelter, the first person who'd ever looked at Noah like he wasn't a punchline. But Tyler didn't care for truths. He lunged, shoving Noah back into the mud-slick bank, the cold water lapping at his sneakers. "You think you can prance around here like you belong? This ain't San Francisco, faggot. Go back to your little parade." The punch came fast, a wild haymaker that split Noah's lip open, copper flooding his mouth. Fight or flight screamed in his veins, but Noah had learned long ago that running just painted a target on your back. He swung back, wild and desperate, his fist connecting with Tyler's jaw in a sickening crunch. Tyler went down howling, clutching his face as blood bloomed from a cut above his eye. The crowd surged, phones out, capturing the chaos like it was some viral TikTok moment. By dawn, Tyler was in the ER with a fractured cheekbone, and Noah was in cuffs, the deputy muttering about troublemakers as he shoved him into the back of the cruiser. Word spread like wildfire through Elmwood's Facebook groups. "Gay kid assaults local hero." Petitions circulated at the diner, the hardware store, even the church social. Noah's mom, weary from double shifts at the Mills cafeteria, could barely look at him without her eyes welling up. "Why couldn't you just walk away, baby?" she'd whispered one night over lukewarm mac and cheese, her hands trembling as she lit another Marlboro. His dad, long gone, but his ghost lingered in the form of Pastor Harlan's Sunday sermons on Sodom and Gomorrah. Enter Jackson Reeves, 23, with a faded Army surplus jacket and a beat-up Ford Ranger that smelled like pine air freshener and faint weed. Jackson had blown into Elmwood 6 months earlier like a rogue wind off Lake Erie. a community organizer from Cleveland. He'd come to rally for the Mill Workers Union, but stayed for the stray dogs at the shelter and the quiet beauty of the rusting bridges at dusk. He and Noah had met at the counter of Riverside Brew, Jackson slinging lattes with a wink that made Noah's cheeks burn hotter than the espresso machine. Their first date was a stolen hour in Jackson's truck, parked overlooking the Cuyahoga River's lazy bend, where tentative kisses tasted like freedom and the faint tang of diesel. "I see you, Noah," Jackson had murmured against his neck that night, fingers tracing the constellation of freckles across his collarbone. "All of you. And it's beautiful." It was the first time anyone had said it without a caveat, without the but that always followed in Elmwood. From there, it snowballed. Secret picnics in the woods, hands intertwined under diner booths, Jackson's steady presence pulling Noah from the brink of his own despair. Jackson talked big dreams, getting out to Chicago, starting a nonprofit for queer youth in the heartland. Noah dreamed of just surviving senior year without another black eye. But survival's a fragile thing. When the charges hit, assault and battery, a felony that could lock Noah up for years, Jackson was the one who scraped together bail money from odd jobs and GoFundMe pleas to progressive donors upstate. He sat through every pretrial hearing, his knee pressed against Noah's under the table, a silent anchor. "We've got this," he'd whisper, even as the public defender, a harried woman named Ms. Ellis with coffee stains on her blouse, warned them the deck was stacked. Tyler's daddy's got the judge in his pocket. And this town's got a long memory for deviants. The trial date loomed like a storm cloud over the county fair, all funnel cakes and Ferris wheels masking the rot beneath. Noah spent nights pacing his cramped bedroom, the walls closing in with posters of indie bands and faded pride flags he'd hidden in his closet. Jackson would climb through the window like some Romeo in flannel, pulling him into bed where words failed and bodies spoke. "I love you," Jackson would say, fierce and unyielding, as if those 3 syllables could bulletproof them against the world. Noah believed him, God. How he believed him, because in Jackson's arms, Elmwood felt like it could be anywhere. Like home. Yet doubt gnawed at the edges. Whispers in town. Jackson was just using him for a cause, a notch on his activist belt. And then there was Alex, Noah's childhood best friend, the one straight ally who'd stuck by him through locker room taunts and prom night isolation. Alex, with his easy laugh and Letterman jacket, had been the bridge between Noah's worlds. But lately, he'd been distant, dodging texts, showing up to support meetings with Tyler's crew in tow. "It's complicated, man," Alex had muttered once, eyes on the floor. "Tyler's not all bad. You gotta see both sides." Noah pushed it down, chalking it up to senior year stress. But on the eve of the trial, as rain lashed the trailer park windows, Jackson held him tighter than ever. "Tomorrow, we fight," he said, lips brushing Noah's temple. "Not just for you, for all of us." Noah nodded, burying his face in Jackson's chest, inhaling the scent of soap and resolve. Little did he know, the real fight was just beginning, and love, that treacherous beast, would demand a price neither could foresee. The morning of the trial dawned gray and sodden, the kind of Midwest autumn that seeped into your bones. Noah dressed in the ill-fitting suit Ms. Ellis had loaned him, navy polyester that itched like guilt, staring at his reflection in the cracked bathroom mirror. The scar from Tyler's ring still puckered his cheek, a silvery reminder. Downstairs, his mom pressed a thermos of weak coffee into his hands, her eyes red-rimmed. Be strong, honey. God's got a plan. Noah wanted to scream that God's plan sucked. But he just hugged her, the lump in his throat too thick for words. The courthouse squatted on the town square like a judgmental toad, his brick facade etched with ivy and indifference. Inside, the air hummed with fluorescent buzz and the murmur of locals crammed into the gallery. Farmers in Carhartt, church ladies with pursed lips, Tyler's family front and center, his mother dabbing at non-existent tears with a lace hanky. Jackson slipped in last, flashing Noah a thumbs up from the back, his presence a lifeline in the sea of hostility. Ms. Ellis rose, her voice steady as she outlined the defense. Self-defense, plain and simple. Witnesses from the party would testify to Tyler's aggression, the history of harassment. But the prosecution, they came out swinging. ADA Rebecca Klein, 40-something, sharp-suited, with a bob that screamed, no-nonsense Midwest power, painted Noah as the villain from the jump. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, she intoned, pacing like a shark, this isn't about a scuffle at a party. This is about a young man who let his proclivities turn violent. Mr. Harper has a pattern, provocative behavior, flaunting his lifestyle in a community that values tradition. The word lifestyle landed like a slap, and Noah's cheeks burned. He glanced at the jury, 12 faces, mostly white, mostly over 50, shifting uncomfortably. Tyler took the stand first, all bandaged pathos, recounting how Noah lunged at him unprovoked, tears glistening on cue. The gallery ate it up, murmurs rippling like approval. Then it was Noah's turn. He shuffled to the stand, hands slick with sweat, the Bible's worn leather cool under his palm. Do you swear to tell the truth? The oath felt like a joke. Ms. Ellis led him gently. The shove, the slur, the fear that spiked like adrenaline. I didn't want to fight, Noah said, voice cracking. I just wanted him to stop. Klein's cross-examination was a crucifixion. She circled him, heels clicking like metronomes of doom. Mr. Harper, isn't it true you've been intimate with several young men in this town, spreading rumors, causing discord, objections sustained, but the damage seeped in, the jury's eyes narrowing. Then she dropped the bomb. And your so-called boyfriend, Mr. Reeves, the outsider agitator, didn't he encourage this recklessness? Text messages show you two plotting against bigots like Mr. Grant. Noah's blood ran cold. Those texts, private jokes, vent sessions twisted into conspiracy. He stammered denials, but Klein leaned in, voice dripping venom. Come now, Noah. We all know what boys like you get up to in the dark. Is that why you attacked, rejected advances? A lover's quarrel gone wrong. The gallery gasped, a collective intake that sucked the oxygen from the room. Noah's vision blurred, tears hot and traitorous. No, he whispered, but it came out broken, plea more than protest. Klein smirked, triumphant. Just answer the question. Boy, from the back. Jackson bolted upright, but Ms. Ellis shot him a warning glare. The judge, old Harlan himself, Tyler's uncle by marriage, banged the gavel. Order, Ms. Klein, confine yourself to facts. But facts, in Elmwood, they were as malleable as taffy. As Noah stepped down, legs jelly, he caught Jackson's eye, fury and fear mirrored there. Lunch recess hit like mercy, and in the holding room, Jackson pulled him into a crushing hug. "She's a bitch," he growled. "But we're not done." Noah clung to him, inhaling that familiar pine. "What if we lose everything? Then we build it back. Together." Jackson's kiss was fierce, a vow sealed in salt and desperation. But as they parted, Noah couldn't shake the chill. Klein's words, burrowing like ticks. And somewhere, in the recesses of his mind, a whisper of betrayal stirred. Alex's evasive texts, unanswered calls. Was this town breaking them, or was it something closer to home? Afternoon brought witnesses. A partygoer who didn't see much, Tyler's mom weeping about her baby boy's future. Ms. Ellis fought valiantly, but the tide pulled against them. Then Jackson's turn, character witness, the one shot to humanize Noah. He strode to the stand, all quiet fire, his testimony a litany of Noah's kindness. Tutoring kids at the library, volunteering at the shelter, the boy who'd saved a litter of kittens from a storm drain last spring. Klein pounced. "Mr. Reeves, you're not from here. What business do you have meddling in our affairs? Is this some liberal crusade? Using this boy as your pawn?" Jackson's jaw tightened. "Noah's no pawn. He's the bravest person I know." Brave enough to lie under oath? She produced printouts, more texts. This time Jackson's emails to donors, framing the case as a hate crime poster child. "So, love makes you blind, Mr. Reeves? Or just opportunistic?" The objection came too late. Jackson's eyes flashed to Noah. Apology. Rage. Love tangled. The judge adjourned for the day, leaving the courtroom buzzing like a hive kicked. That night, in Jackson's truck parked miles from prying eyes, they unraveled. "She's turning us into the enemy," Noah sobbed, head in Jackson's lap as rain drummed the roof. "Like we're the crime." Jackson stroked his hair, voice low. "Tomorrow, I testify again. I'll make them see you, us." But doubt flickered in his eyes, a shadow Noah pretended not to notice. As they made love, slow and reclaiming, the world outside faded. For those stolen hours, it was just them, skin on skin, hearts sinking like a pulse. Unbeknownst to Noah, across town, Alex Grant, no relation to Tyler, thank God, paced his basement, phone in hand. The screen glowed with Klein's email. "Your testimony could seal this. Family discount on that new truck if you play ball." Alex's thumb hovered over reply, guilt gnawing like acid. He'd promised Noah forever, but forever was a luxury in Elmwood. And town blood, ran thicker. Day 2 of the trial dawned with a deceptive sun, gilding the courthouse spire like false hope. Noah arrived early, stomach churning with the dregs of yesterday's takeout, greasy burgers from the drive-thru, Jackson's attempt at normalcy. The gallery swelled thicker, locals spilling into the hallway, craning for glimpses like it was the damn Super Bowl. Tyler's crew dominated the front rows, tattoos peeking from collars, smirks etched permanent. Jackson squeezed Noah's hand under the table, a Morse code of solidarity. "Hold on." Ms. Ellis kicked off with rebuttal witnesses, a counselor from the LGBTQ Center in Akron, droning stats on queer youth suicide rates, the disproportionate harassment in rural pockets like Elmwood. It was clinical, detached, and the jury's yawns said it all. Klein dismantled it with a scalpel. Tragic, yes, but irrelevant. We're here about a broken jaw, not statistics. Then Alex's name was called. Noah's heart stuttered. His best friend. The wild card. The one who'd sworn to tell it straight. Alex shuffled up. Blonde hair gelled back. Button down crisp like he'd rehearsed in a mirror. Under oath. He started strong. I was there. Tyler came at Noah first. Called him slurs. Noah defended himself. That's it. Relief flooded Noah, warm and fleeting. Jackson's grip eased. A shared exhale. But Klein rose. All predator grace. Mr. Whitaker, you and the defendant go way back. Don't you? Childhood pals. Alex nodded, wary. And isn't it true you've distanced yourself lately? Heard rumors about tensions? Perhaps over a girl, or something more personal? Alex flushed, stammering. No, that's not. Objection, Ms. Ellis barked, but the judge waved it off. Context. Counselor. Klein slid photos across the stand, grainy shots from the party. Alex and Tyler arm in arm earlier that night, laughing. Looks cozy. And these texts. From you to Mr. Grant. Sorry about the drama, bro. Noah's just jealous. Jealous? Of what? Mr. Whitaker. Your friendship with the victim. The courtroom inhaled sharply. Noah's world tilted. Betrayal blooming cold in his chest. Alex's eyes darted to him. Pleading. Panicked, then dropped. It was a joke, he mumbled. Heat of the moment. A joke, Klein echoed. Voice syrup sweet. Like when you told Mr. Grant. Noah's always been dramatic. Thinks everything's a hate crime? Or when you forwarded those intimate photos of the defendant to the group chat? The ones with Mr. Reeves. Noah's blood turned to ice. Those photos snapped in a moment of trust. A goofy selfie in bed. Nothing explicit but enough to strip him bare. He'd shared with Alex in confidence. A look how happy I am vulnerability. Now, projected on the courtroom screen for all to see. His face flushed. Jackson's arm slung possessively. The caption, My Forever 3. Gasps rippled. Titters from the back. Tyler's mom crossed herself. I didn't mean, Alex choked, tears spilling. But Klein pressed. You betrayed your friend for what? A spot on the football alumni board? Or just to fit in with the boys? Alex crumbled, sobbing. I was scared. Okay, this town. It chews you up if you're not one of them. Noah gets it. He's always gotten it. But Noah didn't. Not anymore. He stared at his oldest friend, seeing a stranger, the knife twisting deeper with every word. Ms. Ellis tried salvaging. Mr. Whitaker, despite your mistake, you saw the assault, but the damage was nuclear. As Alex slunk down, avoiding Noah's gaze, the recess bell rang like a death knell. In the bathroom, Noah retched, while burning his throat. Jackson found him there, slumped against porcelain. Breathe, babe. It's a low blow, but he's dead to me, Noah rasped, wiping his mouth. How could he? Jackson pulled him close, chin on his crown. Because people are weak. But we're not. His voice cracked, though first fracture in the armor. Noah noticed, filing it away like shrapnel. Back in session. The prosecution rested, smug as sin. Ms. Ellis called Jackson for redirect, hoping to reclaim narrative ground. He took the stand again, posture ramrod, eyes locked on Noah like a beacon. "I've known Noah 6 months," he began, "but it feels like lifetimes. He's not violent, he's vital. The way he laughs at bad puns, or stays up late braiding friendship bracelets for the shelter kids. That night, he was scared. Yeah. But he fought because he had to. For his right to just be." The jury leaned in. A few nods, cracks in the wall. Then Klein's turn. She started soft, almost maternal. "Mr. Reeves, love is blind, isn't it? You've got this whole activist shtick, rallies, fundraisers. How much have you raised off Noah's story? 5 grand? 10? Jackson's fists balled. "It's not a story. It's his life. And yours?" she shot back, slapping down bank statements. "Donations spiked after you posted about the trial on your Insta. Help save my love from bigots. Cozy. So, is this testimony for justice? Or your next grant?" Objection, overruled. The gallery murmured approval, heads nodding like metronomes. Jackson faltered, glancing at Noah. Apology raw. "It's for him. Always." But the seed was planted. Opportunist outsider, pimping pain for likes. As Jackson stepped down, their eyes met. Love. Yes. But laced with something new, doubt. Noah's walls rebuilt themselves, brick by traitorous brick. Closing arguments hit like a freight train. Klein wove a tapestry of small-town virtue. Tyler as the everyman. Noah the disruptor. Alex's regret. The human cost of deviant influences. "Protect our sons," she implored, voice quivering. "Convict. And send a message. Elmwood stands firm." MS. Ellis countered fierce. "Self-defense isn't a crime. Harassment isn't heritage. Noah Harper is a kid who fought back against fists, against fear, against a town that wants him erased." She gestured to Noah, voice breaking. "Look at him. See the boy, not the label." The jury filed out at 4 p.m., the wait stretching into eternity. Hours ticked by in the courthouse lounge, stale vending machine chips, Jackson's thumb tracing Noah's knuckles in endless loops. "Whatever happens," he said, "Chicago's waiting. Fresh start." Noah leaned into him, exhausted. "And if it's guilty, then we appeal. Fight dirtier." But his smile didn't reach his eyes. Deliberation dragged to 9 p.m., the judge sending them home with a "be ready" in Jackson's truck. They drove aimless, windows down to the chill bite of November. Pulled over on a gravel road by the river. They talked or tried. "Alex. I thought he was family." Noah confessed, voice small. Jackson's jaw worked. "Family's what you make. Like us." He kissed Noah then, deep and devouring, hands roaming with urgent need. They tumbled into the back seat, clothes shedding like old skin, the truck rocking gentle under harvest moon. It was reclamation, fingers mapping scars, mouths whispering litanies of mine and stay. For a stolen hour, the trial dissolved, just heartbeats and heat. But dawn brought reality. Courthouse again, tension thick as fog. The jury was back, 4 hours, an eternity compressed. They filed in somber, foreman a grizzled farmer with calloused hands. "In the matter of State v. Harper," he intoned, "we find the defendant." Noah's breath hitched, Jackson's hand crushing his. The word hung, a guillotine. The words detonated soft, rippling through the courtroom like a held breath released. For a split second, silence reigned. Absolute, disbelieving, then chaos erupted. Ms. Ellis whooped, hugging Noah fierce. His mom sobbed from the gallery, clutching her rosary like a lifeline. Jackson surged forward, vaulting the bar in a blur of leather and love, crushing Noah against him as cheers clashed with boos. Tyler's family stormed out, Klein's face twisting lemon sour. But Noah, he just clung, tears soaking Jackson's shirt. The verdict, a bomb on wounds too deep to name. Reporters swarmed outside, local news vans from Toledo, even a stringer from Cleveland's Plain Dealer, microphones thrusting like spears. Noah, how's it feel to beat the system? Flashbulbs popped, blinding. Jackson shielded him, arm slung protective. Back off. Give the kid air. They piled into the Ranger, peeling out gravel spray, laughter bubbling hysterical as Elmwood's limits receded in the rearview. Freedom tasted like diner fries and root beer floats at Riverside Brew, Jackson's treat. The place was packed. Supporters who'd lurked silent now clapping Noah on the back, toasting with coffee mugs. Proud of you, son, grumbled old Mr. Patel behind the register, who'd comped their lattes for months. Noah grinned, real and ragged, the weight lifting inch by inch. Jackson watched him, eyes soft with something profound. Pride, possession, a future unfurling. That night, they celebrated proper. Jackson's tiny apartment above the hardware store. Fairy lights strung hasty. A playlist of Hozier and Brandi Carlile humming low. Candlelight danced on takeout pizza boxes. Wine from a $10 bottle they'd split giggling. To us, Jackson toasted, clinking plastic cups. Unbreakable. Noah's toast was quieter. To surviving, their kiss started sweet. Deep into fire, hands rediscovering, bodies arching familiar. On the lumpy futon, under a quilt pieced from Jackson's army days, they moved slow, savoring victory's glow. Jackson's whispers traced Noah's spine. You're my home. You know that. Noah arched into him, gasping affirmations. The world reduced to touch and trust. After, tangled and sated, Noah traced Jackson's tattoos. A compass rose on his bicep, wander scripted along his ribs. Chicago, he murmured. You still want that? With you? Hell yes. Jackson's fingers combed his hair. Lease a place in Wicker Park. You finish community college online. I ramp up the nonprofit. Queer kids like you are kids, getting what they need, are kids. The phrase warmed Noah deeper than climax. He slept dreamless. Jackson's heartbeat his lullaby. But verdicts don't erase stains. They just fade them. Monday brought the backlash. Tires slashed on the Ranger. Fag lover keyed into the hood. At the mill, his mom fielded whispers, side eyes from women who'd shared potlucks. Noah's phone buzzed relentless. Hate DMs. Bible verses twisted venomous. Even a death threat that had Jackson calling the cops. It's cooling off, the deputy drawled. Same one from the arrest. Folks'll forget. They didn't. School was a gauntlet. Noah's last semester at Elmwood High. Halls echoing with snickers. Lockers scrawled, "Not guilty my ass." Tyler lurked in the parking lot once. Black eye faded. Spitting. This ain't over. Queer. Jackson met him there daily. Waiting shotgun. Glare daring approach. Let it go, Noah begged one evening. Head on the dash. You're gonna get hurt. Worth it, Jackson said. Fierce. But Noah saw the toll. shadows under his eyes, fists perpetually clenched. Worse was Alex. Radio silence post-trial, until a knock at 2 a.m. Noah cracked the door, finding him soaked from rain, eyes hollow. "Can I?" Alex trailed. Noah stepped aside, wordless. In the kitchen, over lukewarm tea, Alex spilled. Klein's pressure. The photos accidentally forwarded in a weak moment. "I panicked, man. Thought it'd blow over. Then it snowballed. You sold me out." Noah's voice was steel, though his chest ached. "For what? To be Tyler's bitch?" Alex flinched. "I hate it here too. But you're out now. Go Chicago. Whatever. Leave me to rot." Pity stirred. Unwanted. "Rot's a choice, Alex." He paused. "But I get scared too." Handshake. Not hug. Fractured bridge. But not burned. Jackson, hearing the tale later, paced like a caged wolf. "He doesn't deserve forgiveness. Neither do I. Some days." Noah pulled him close. "But holding grudges? That's Elmwood's game." Winter clamped down, snow blanketing the rust like forgiveness feigned. Jackson's nonprofit gained traction, donations trickling for Heartland Pride, a hotline for rural queer youth. Noah volunteered, manning calls in stolen hours, voices on the line echoing his own. "Am I broken?" "No," he'd say, Jackson's hand on his knee. "You're seen." Christmas came quiet. His mom stringing lights on the trailer. Jackson gifting a leather-bound journal inscribed, "For the stories we'll write." They made love by the tree, twinkles haloing sweat-slick skin. Vows murmured in the afterglow. "Marry me," Jackson breathed once, half joking, ringless finger tracing Noah's. "Someday, someday," Noah echoed, heart full. January thawed the lies. A package arrived at the diner, anonymous, brown-wrapped. Jackson slid it open behind the counter. Photos, more than Alex's. Candid shots, Noah running trails, kissing Jackson in the truck. Timestamps from months back. Tucked inside, a note in block print. "Knew you'd squeal. Your turn to pay." Panic spiked. Jackson called a buddy in Cleveland PD, but prints were clean. Postmark local. Tyler's crew, Noah guessed, nausea rising. Or someone closer. Jackson's face darkened. "We'll handle it." But handling meant vigilance. Deadbolts checked twice. Routes varied. Calls traced. Paranoia seeped, tainting their sanctuary. One night, after a close call, truck tailing them home, headlights glaring, Jackson snapped. "This town's poison. We leave now." Noah hesitated. "Mom. The shelter. It's home. Home's us." Jackson's voice broke. "I can't lose you." The fight simmered low, first real one. Words like barbs. Jackson's impatience. Noah's inertia. "You're pushing too hard," Noah yelled, door slamming. Hours later, apology texts, make-up sex raw and reconciliatory. But the rift lingered, a hairline fracture. February brought the storm. Heartland Pride's first event. A low-key mixer at the VFW Hall. Rainbow flags discreet on the door. 50 souls showed. Farm kids with hidden crushes. Teachers' double lives. Elders who'd buried partners in silence. Noah emceed. Voice steady, sharing his story unvarnished. Jackson watched from the wings, pride swelling anew. "You're a fucking hero," he whispered post-speech, kissing him breathless in the storeroom. Then the brick through the window, hall shattering glass. Sinners burn, scrawled in red. Panic scattered the crowd. Sirens wailing. Police again. Same deputy. Kids. Probably. But Noah caught a glimpse fleeing, build like Tyler's, laugh echoing cruel. In the aftermath, Jackson's resolve hardened. Chicago. End of month. Noah nodded, defeated. Packing commenced. Boxes labeled New Start. Mom's tearful goodbye over pie. Call every day. Baby. The send-off party was small shelter volunteers. A few diner regulars. Toasts flowed. Laughter laced bittersweet. Alex showed. Tentative. Noah clapped his shoulder. Bridge mending slow. As midnight tolled, Jackson pulled Noah onto the fire escape. City lights distant. Ready. Terrified. Noah's laugh wobbled. But yeah, their kiss sealed it, deep and defining. But as they descended, Jackson's phone buzzed. Unknown number. Voicemail. A garbled slur. Then Tyler's voice clear. Leaving won't save you. Faggots. Watch your backs. Fear coiled, but love uncoiled fiercer. They drove out at dawn. Taillights fading on Route 6. Elmwood shrinking to memory. Chicago waited, skyscrapers sharp. Lake winds bracing. Apartment hunt yielded a walk-up in Logan Square. Creaky floors. View of the L. Theirs for $1,200 a month. Unpacking was foreplay. Bookshelves built mid-kiss. Sheets christened before the bed frame arrived. New rhythms. Noah at community college. Poli-sci major. Jackson pitching grants downtown. Evenings. Farmers markets. Dive bars with drag shows. Hands free under tables. This is it, Jackson said one night. Skyline glittering from their fire escape. Us. Against the world. But worlds collide. March mail brought a letter, Klein stationery. Post-trial, olive branch. Congrats on the win. But justice? That's ongoing. Enclosed, court docs. Sealed. But Jackson pride. Tyler's civil suit. Defamation. Emotional distress. Bastards suing for $50K. Noah paled. We don't have that. Sell the truck? Crowdfund. Jackson's optimism strained. Nights turned restless. Lawsuits looming like thunderheads. Sex shifted, comforting, not conquering. We'll fight, Jackson vowed. But Noah heard the echo of Elmwood. Stacked decks. Bought judges. April cracked open the betrayal's core. A Cleveland contact tipped Jackson. Leaks from the trial. Photos sourced not from Alex, but Jackson's own email hack. Someone close, the PI said. Paranoia peaked. Noah eyeing shadows. Jackson's phone glued to hip. Confrontation came rainy. In their kitchen over ramen. It was you, Noah accused. Voice quake. The emails, framing it big for donors. You knew it'd paint targets. Jackson recoiled. I was building our future. At my expense? Tears hot. You turned my pain into your poster child. Words escalated. Selfish. Sacrificing. Culminating in Noah storming out. Pounding Chicago pavement till lungs burned. He crashed at a shelter buddy's. Soul adrift. Dawn brought Jackson at the door. Wrecked. I fucked up. But I love you. Flaws and all. Noah wavered. Heart a battlefield. Prove it. No more crusades. Just us. Promise sealed with tears. They rebuilt therapy sessions in a dingy clinic. Date nights sans agenda. Summer bloomed. Lake days lazy. Love rekindling slow burn. But autumn whispered warnings. A call from Elmwood. Mom's trailer torched. Fag lover in flames. Tyler arrested, but out on bail. Come home, she begged. Noah booked the flight. Jackson insisting. Together. Return was reckoning. Town square vigil. Candles for Noah's triumph, but eyes wary. Tyler's arraignment. Klein defending, smirking across the aisle. Then, the twist. Alex testifying for prosecution. Noah provoked it. Betrayal redux. Knife fresh. Noah testified. Voice steel. Hate doesn't hide. It hunts. Jackson's hand under table. Anchor. Dismissal came swift, arson charges stuck. Tyler cuffed. But victory hollow. That night, by the river, Jackson dropped to knee. Marry me. For real. Let's make forever official. Ring simple, silver band etched with compass. Yes, Noah breathed, pulling him up into kiss eternal. The wedding was a quiet rebellion, City Hall in Chicago. Late October, leaves carpeting the steps in gold and crimson like confetti from the gods. No tuxes, just slim-fit jeans and button-downs. Noah in deep blue that matched the lake's moody eye. Jackson in charcoal, his leather jacket slung over like armor retired. Witnesses, a ragtag crew. The shelter's wiry coordinator, a poli-sci prof with rainbow pins on her satchel. And via Zoom, Noah's mom beaming from her rebuilt porch. Voice crackling, my boys. So handsome. Vows were handwritten. Raw. Jackson's steady baritone promising, to wander with you, through rust and rain. Noah's softer timbre vowing to build walls only for us. Never against. Rings exchanged under fluorescent hum. Kiss sealing it fierce. Whistles from clerks. Tears unashamed. After party, a hole-in-the-wall taqueria. Tacos al pastor and horchata toasts. Laughter spilling into the L's rumble home. Honeymoon was a road trip. Nothing fancy. Just the ranger, dense buffed. Scars honored. Hugging interstates to the Badlands. South Dakota's jagged spires mirroring their edges honed smooth. Tent nights under star-flooded skies. Campfires crackling stories. Jackson's army stint in the sandbox. The buddy lost to IED who taught him love's brevity. Noah's closet crushes. The poetry scribbled in margins of biology notes. Mornings tangled in sleeping bags. Coffee black and bold. Hands linked over maps plotting detours. Think Elmwood's cursing us yet? Noah joked one dawn, zipping the tent as bison grazed distant. Jackson chuckled, nuzzling his neck. Let M. We're myth now, the lovers who outran the storm. Back in Chicago, life layered like the city's architecture. Jackson's nonprofit ballooned. Heartland Pride chapters sprouting in Peoria. Toledo virtual town halls for kids whispering fears into webcams. Noah graduated cum laude. Internship at a queer legal aid firm. Clerking cases that echoed his own. Bathroom bills busted. Foster placements fought. Evenings? Cooking fails. Jackson's chili too spicy. Noah's salads too earnest. Collapsing into giggles. Then each other. But ghosts linger. Thanksgiving brought a call. Alex. Collect from county lockup. Suspended sentence, he rasped. For the fire. Snitched on Tyler for leniency. Pause heavy. Miss you, man. Owe you eternity. Noah's throat tightened. Jackson's brow furrow from the kitchen. You don't, Noah said finally. But, he'll. That's step one. Hung up, he curled into Jackson. Forgiveness feels like freedom, or fool's gold, Jackson muttered, but held tighter. Winter's grip squeezed revelations. A donor gala, black tie schmooze at the Art Institute, Jackson in rented tux, Noah fidgeting in his. Mingling with blue hairs and tech bros, pitches polished, rural queer youth, suicide rates triple urban. We're the net. Applause. Check signed. But in the coat room, a face from Elmwood, Rebecca Klein, reinvented as consultant for a conservative PAC. Champagne flute in claw. Mr. Harper, she purred, blocking exit. Or should I say, Mr. Reeves? Domestic bliss suits you. Noah stiffened, Jackson materializing flank. Ms. Klein. Slumming it, her laugh tinkled false. Just networking. Heard about your little empire. Noble, but naive. These donors, they tire of causes. Eyes on Noah. Especially when the poster boy sues back. Sues, Jackson echoed. Arm steel around Noah. Klein's smile sharked. Tyler's civil suit refiled in federal. Claims defamation. Emotional duress. 50 grand. Plus punitive. Your trial testimony? Gold mine for pain and suffering. She sipped. Savage. See you in court. Boys. Panic post-gala. Ramen cold. Plans frantic. We countersue. Noah insisted. Law book splayed. Malicious prosecution. Klein's mockery. The photos. Jackson paste. Bourbon neat. Cost? Time? We're barely afloat. Then fight smart. Noah's resolve ignited. Like you taught me. Depositions dragged December. Tyler's whiny recount. Klein's icy poise. Alex testified remote. Redemption arc earnest. I lied. Noah's the victim always was. Jury selection loomed January. Chicago federal court a far cry from Cedarwoods Creek. Marble halls. Diverse faces. Justice less parochial. Trial opened crisp. Judge Rivera. A Latina firebrand with zero tolerance for theater. Banging gavel. No drama. Counsel. Noah's side first. Evidence of harassment logs. Witness affidavits from the bonfire. Psych evals on trauma's toll. Jackson's testimony gutted. Love doesn't blind. It clarifies. Tyler's hate? That's the crime. Klein's cross was subtler. No mocks outright. But implications slithered. Mr. Reeves, your organization's funding. Did it surge post-Harper trial? Motive to embellish. Charts projected. Dollars dancing damning. But rebuttal shown. Forensic dive on the hack. Traced to Tyler's IP. Not Jackson's. Opportunism. Ms. Ellis retained now. Fierce. Thundered. Try frame job. Jury nodded. Pen scratching. Closing. Noah took the stand uncalled. Waiver signed. I stood in that Ohio courtroom. Mocked. Betrayed. Broken. But love. Eyes on Jackson. Ring glinting. It rebuilt me. Don't let hate unmake us. Sobs from the gallery donors. Allies waves of empathy. Verdict. Dismissal with prejudice. Sanctions on Tyler's team. Klein stormed out. Career singed. Champagne at home. Jackson toasting. To turning tables. Spring greened. Scars fading. Noah's first case win. Pro bono expulsion fight for a trans kid in Gary, Indiana. Echo of self. Jackson's TEDx talk went mini-viral. Heartland love. Why rural queers deserve the spotlight. Views hit 50K. Invites poured. But humanism humbles. June call. Pastor Harlan. Voice gravel. Your mom's poorly. Cancer. Come. Flight home gut wrench. Mom's trailer sagging. Chemo gaunt in her cheeks. Noah bear, she whispered, hugging frail. Jackson cooked. Meatloaf her favorite, while Noah read bedside. Poetry from the journal. Harlan visited awkward. God's testing. Son. Noah's retort gentle. Or healing. Weeks blurred. Hospice shifts. Jackson's hand steady. Mom's last words. To them both. You made me see. Love wins. Funeral small. Rainbow stole on her casket, Harlan presiding. Sermon shifted. Compassion. Not condemnation. Grief hollowed. But Chicago called back. Summer solace. Road trip redux. This time to the Keys borrowed van. Beaches blinding. Snorkeling reefs. Noah's laugh free. Stargazing. Jackson's stories soothing. She'd be proud, Noah said. Sandrough fingers laced. Fall tenure. Noah's bar exam looming. Jackson's board expanding. Anniversaries marked intimate. 1 year married. Cake lopsided. Slow dance in kitchen to first day of my life. Sex evolved. Tender explorations. Toys tentative. Trust total. Then, the gift. Positive test. Not Noah's surrogate from the network. A queer couple's egg. Jackson's donor sperm. Family. Noah breathed. Ultrasound grainy miracle. Ours. Winter wombs swelled hope. But trials teach joy's fragile. January scan. Heartbeat strong. Names brainstormed, Noel for mom, or River for the bends they'd navigated. Yet betrayals echo. Anonymous email to Jackson's board. Leaked finances. Misuse claims from Klein's network. Smear, Jackson growled. But doubt crept. Audits. Resignations threatened. Noah confronted. Fight or fold. Fight, Jackson vowed. With you. Press conference. Transparency total. Books open. Donors rallied. Scandal starved. Resilient, headlines hummed. Spring birth. Boy. Wailing fierce. Tiny fists balled like his dad's. Naming. Elias, Noah's middle. The Lord is my God, reclaimed. Homecoming chaos. Bottles warmed. Nights fragmented. Love logarithmic. Parenthood reshaped. Jackson's lullabies off-key. Noah's stories vivid. Elias's first smile. Noah's coup. Jackson's tears. We're enough. Summer solstice party. Backyard bash. Heartland fam flown in. Toasts to trials turned triumphs. As fireflies danced. Noah pulled Jackson aside. Remember the courtroom? That mock. Jackson grinned wolfish. Turned the table. All right. Kiss under string lights. Elias gurgling between. And we'd do it again. Years folded like accordions. Elias's toddler tantrums to T-ball triumphs. Noah's law firm partnership. Jackson's nonprofit, a Midwest mainstay with brick and mortar in 5 states. Chicago burrowed deep. Brownstones bought. Block parties hosted. Queer family mosaic ever expanding. Vacations to Elmwood morphed voluntary. Picnics by the pond. Bonfire rebuilt as remembrance roast. Tyler's shadow faded to footnote. Jail time served for arson escalation. But life's not linear. It loops. Lessons revisited. Elias at 8. First crush on classmate Leo. Wide-eyed confessions over ice cream. Is it bad? Like you said it was for you. Noah's heart clenched. Jackson Fielding. Nah, kiddo. Is brave. Like Dad Noah. School talks sparked memories. Dredging the trial's underbelly. You were a hero. Elias beamed. Homework on civil rights icons. Noah laughed rueful. More Survivor. Evenings. He shared sanitized the fight, the love, the win, omitting mock sting. Betrayal's bite. Jackson added color. Your pop turned tables like a magician. Elias's eyes saucered. Show me. Storytime evolved ritual. Bedtime tales of the brave defendants. Puppets for prosecutor. Cackling fox. Lovers as knights. Laughter healed. Layers peeled. Adolescence ambushed at 12. Elias outed by a Snapchat slip. Bullies echoing Elmwood slurs. School counselor calls. Jackson raging at PDA. Zero tolerance or we sue. Noah mediated calm. Filing complaints. Therapy tandem. Home front fractured gentle. Arguments over discipline. Too soft. Too strict. Nights on couches. Make up mornings with coffee amends. We're human. Jackson sighed once. Elias asleep between. Flawed as fuck. Noah nodded. Tracing wedding band. But fixed together. Betrayal revisited via Alex. Now Cleveland graphic designer. Married straight. 2 kids. Reunion coffee. Awkward laughs. Then, I started a youth group. Queer ally focus. Inspired by. You know, Noah's absolution. Water under. Glad you're swimming. Klein's coda came circuitous. Op-ed in the Plain Dealer. From persecutor to penitent. Alzheimer's early. Regrets raw. I weaponized fear. That boy, he schooled me in grace. Clip to fridge. Elias quizzing. Bad lady good now? People pivot, Jackson explained. Like us. Milestones mounted. Elias's bar mitzvah. Noah's nod to mom's lapsed faith. Jackson's keynote at national conference. Love as litigation. Winning hearts in hostile halls. Noah's book deal. Memoir. Table turned. A gay Heartland Odyssey. Bestseller modest. Tours to Toledo signings where fans wept. You saved me. But humanism's heart. The losses. Jackson's dad. Estranged redneck from Akron. Cancer cull. Deathbed olive. Proud. Of the family. Funeral tense. But Elias's hug bridged. Noah's fertility dreams deferred. Elias enough. Adoption explored. A sister scouted, Mia. For foster flip to forever. Parenting duo deepened. Diaper dashes to dance recitals. Jackson's coaching soccer. Overzealous. Noah's bedtime stories. Epic. Date nights reclaimed. Babysitters bribed. Jazz clubs smoky. Dances dirty under dim. Still mine, Jackson murmured once. Hand low on hip. Always, Noah breathed. Bite to collarbone. Climax crested subtle. Elias 15. Prom dilemma, Leo asked. Together, nerves knotted, but tuxes tailored, corsages pinned. Send-off porch lit. Jackson's camera click. Noah's throat tight. Knock 'em dead. Kid. Midnight return. Elias beaming. Lipstick smudge. It was magic. Dad's high five hid tears. Their own renewal. Vow bash at 20 years. Backyard. String quartet. Elias officiating teen solemn. Guests galore. Heartland board. Chicago crew. Even Harlan retired. blessing bemused. Vows redux, Jackson's through trials retried. Noah's love's endless appeal. Dance floor under lanterns. Elias DJing indie. Mia twirling tool. Later, guest room whispers. Elias quipped we're disgustingly cute. Jackson chuckled. Shirt unbuttoned. Mission accomplished. Lovemaking languid. Bodies mapped decades deep. Scars from surgeries. Noah's Appendix 09. Tattoos faded, but fervor fresh. Afterglow. Windows open to city hum. Think we made it? Noah's fingers in hair. Beyond. Epilogue echoes in quiet. Elias off to Oberlin. Poli-sci like dad. Leo tagging. Empty nest aches. But travels beckon. Amalfi cliffs. Thai beaches. Hands clasped eternal. Non-profit handover graceful. Jackson consulting. Noah judging municipal cases of kids like young self. Verdicts verdant. One last loop. Elmwood invite. Mill revitalized green. Bonfire annual Harper Reeves Unity Fest. Tyler? Reform dish. AA meetings. Apology letter. Hate was my cage. Yours freed me. Handshake hesitant. But human. Sunset pondside. Jackson's arm heavy. Full circle. Noah leaned. And the table? Still ours. Fade to fireflies. Laughter lilting. Story not ended. But etched. In rings worn. In sun's smile. In love's unmockable truth. For in America's heartland hollows, where rust meets rainbow, they proved, betrayal bends, but doesn't break. Mockery mocks itself, and love turns every goddamn table.